And hey, we're here live in the Owl's Nest. We're still in Orlando, Florida at the Scaling New Heights Conference with our theme of Thrive. I'm Jamie.
I'm Alicia.
And here is our special guest,
Mariette Martinez.
Yay! We are so glad to have you here with us to help us close out the conference. The exhibit hall is closing. We're going to pack everything up and go home. We raffled off the iPad. Who was our iPad winner?
Oh, yeah.
Vicky Giampetro from Portland, from my own neck of the woods, won our iPad.
So congratulations, Vicky. If you're still here, come by at booth 2 and get it.
Oh, yes.
Let's get in with Mariette and see what's going on with her.
Hi, everyone. Well, we are here and everybody is wrapping up. Well, the vendors are, but the students are still going. They're still learning. They're still thriving. And the energy has been amazing.
Yeah, it really has.
I mean, can you tell by my voice?
Voice is gone.
Can you tell by my voice? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mariette, back in 2017, when we had that was my first year, and the theme was Face Your Yeti.
Yes.
So it was like facing your fears. Back in 2017, if you can think back that far, what was your fear? Like, what was holding you back?
Yeah, well, I definitely can think back that far because that was actually the first year that any accounting technology conference brought in a Spanish-speaking track.
Oh.
And myself and two of my partners, Vanessa Vasquez and Carmen Enrique, led the whole track. So my Yeti was to speak in Spanish in public in a learning track. And it also was the beginning of my full transition from practitioner to educator. So that's what I was, having a Yeti, but I was definitely facing it, in his eyes or her eyes. Or
they. My son says you can't ever go wrong with saying that.
Okay, there.
Yeah. And then 2019 was the transformative advisor. So like 2 years later, where were you in that journey?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, not that I feel like what Joe does, it seems magical because it just we're all kind of thriving in that way. We're all transforming. So 2019 was my actual last official year as a practitioner. So I was in true transformation because in 2020, I was going to be a 100% educator. And of course, in an advisory role too. So I was literally a transformative advisor.
Right. So
now
fast forward to 2022, and this year's theme is Thrive.
Yeah.
How are you thriving?
Well, I would just give one example, which I believe is a great example. So when I was asked to speak at this conference again, I submitted my papers and I said, honestly, this is the only thing I want to teach. And I actually taught a course on transformative communities because I want, and Alicia was one of my special panelists.
It was kind of stealth. Like we weren't up at the front of the room. She had us planted around in the back.
Yes. And so.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was really.
You had plants.
Yeah, I had plants. And so just to kind of talk about thriving. So one thing I believe in allowing thriving to happen naturally is allow people to kind of have their own aha moments and their breakthroughs. So through our session, no one knew that there was 4 people that were planted there as facilitators, but they didn't even know that like 30, 40 minutes in, they were actually panelists as well. Right. So it was a really cool experience. So I would say that was thriving, being able to teach exactly what I wanted and being able to bring you in and a few other guest experts. I think that's thriving.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity to include what we're doing here at the Royalwise Owls as one of your transformative communities because, we're working really hard. We come from a software background and a technical background, what I consider hard skills, and making that transition from hard skills to soft skills, because in addition to needing knowledge, people also need confidence.
Yes.
And they need pride, and they need
and compassion and support.
And so all of the emotional things that come along with your success. And so that it's been great working with you because that helps inspire me to add that into my educational program.
And I want to just say something that that was a big feedback from my session is that I intentionally created panelists of people that have been building and thriving on their own. And you were very vulnerable to share, like, I'm a hard skills person, but I've realized that my members need soft skills and I had to figure out how to do that. Do I bring people in? Do I do it for myself? Obviously, you've been working on yourself too, as we all are. And when people hear you say something like that, they realize like, okay, so Alicia's struggling with that too. Now they feel connected. They feel compassion. They feel the empathy. So I want to thank you for doing that because we need to be more vulnerable on what we really struggle with so others can connect.
A big part of the way we train is that humanization,
Yes.
I always make the joke, they love it when I struggle with the technology.
Yeah,
right? You see an expert struggle in front of a room full of people while they're the expert. Love that. They absolutely love it. Suddenly I'm human and they go, you know, if it can happen to you and you can get through it with grace, I can get through it with grace too.
So good.
You know, so that's absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call out a couple things like I always do near the end of these guys. First off, big shout out to Audrey Isbell for this crown that she
Check
made.
this out.
Custom made this crown for Alicia to wear here
She
at the
actually
conference.
printed out the logo and then bejeweled it.
Okay, that's gorgeous.
And she mailed
And
it
it looks
before
just
the
like our
conference.
logo.
It looks just like the
like
logo.
the crown on the logo.
And she mailed it, and it didn't get here until last night. So I only got to wear it on the first half of Wednesday. But I love it, and I've got all the packaging, so we get to bring it home safe and use it some more.
Okay, next shout out, Jeff Black, our operations manager. None of this could have happened without Jeff and all his work in the background. And then another huge shout out to Peyton Miller, our full-time marketing guy.
Who does beautiful things
like this, puts Alfred on everything we do, and photorealistic pictures of us on our business cards and all that stuff. So Peyton, thank you for the hard work you've been doing this year. Jeff, Audrey, everybody on our team. And then the other shout out is our guest instructors and the folks that have joined our community and come in and brought their expertise into, I always say, like, we're experts at what we know, but we can't be experts at everything, right? So that we build this community we want to support, and we get the support. And thank you so much for that. Like, we absolutely appreciate it.
And, you know, thank you for doing a shout out to your team, because again, humanizing is you just shared with the world that you're not doing this by yourself.
Oh no, we couldn't.
Yeah, no, right? You couldn't, and you wouldn't, and you shouldn't. Right? If you really want to impact more, we should stop doing things by ourselves.
Well, our kids just showed up to help us pack up the booth, so it's family time. Time to spend some time as a family. Zip, you want to come and say hi to everybody?
Just so they know they're telling the truth. There he is.
This is my son Zip, and he actually spent time in the booth talking to people and learning how to articulate what it is that we we do.
And made a couple sales, I'll tell you. It was pretty impressive.
Can I do a quick little
fist bump on there?
And thanks to my daughter Grace, who set up the whole front and took all of I had too much stuff to put out, and she found a way to make it beautiful and organized, and that was a huge contribution to the week.
All right, Mariette, anything else you want to share?
Yeah, well, I mean, just the fact, now I get emotional because you brought in like real world. No, seriously, you brought your family into it. You brought humanizing into it. You brought the fact that this is a team effort. And I'm just going to say, like, for my biggest takeaway, this was the best way to end, because you literally brought it all together. Today was, or this event, but specifically now today, was not only about energy. It was not only about knowledge sharing and knowledge transferring. It was about being real. Like, and when you really share, I have a team, I have a family, I struggle, you know, like that's what we're all dealing with. But if we don't share it enough, people don't feel connected. Right. And you just connected probably more people to us than ever before, because they just saw the real us.
Awesome.
That was awesome.
Wow. Thank you for verbalizing that. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I also want to give a direct thank you and appreciation and heartfelt love to you, because, we met through the Trainer Writer Network and doing the roadshow together. But, our two programs and our projects are like parallel tracks that dovetail together. And it's been really fabulous working with you and finding ways for us to collaborate.
Yes. Love that. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay, with that, we've done it again, live from the Owl's Nest from Orlando, Florida, at the Scaling New Heights 2022. A big thank you to Joe Woodard, who was our first guest this week. Laid down the foundation for all the stuff that was going to happen this week. We just found out that next year scaling is going to be in
St. Louis. And the theme is going to be soar. Like a hawk.
Now we're soaring.
Like an owl.
Like an owl. And by the way, there was a live owl in the exhibit hall at the animal exhibit. So we've got pictures. You'll probably post those on Facebook later, but you actually
they're probably going to start appearing in all of our
right. Yeah, Peyton will put it on the next poster, I'm sure. And with that, thanks for joining us in the Owl's Nest, Alicia and Jamie from Royalwise, and we will
see you in class.
Thanks, Mariette.
Thanks, Mariette.